we got dang bro, go back to the beginning. But we got what's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, man, Jay Willie Silly, man, aka Mr. Take It Easy. Before you end up like Beezy, man, make sure y'all follow my Twitch, man. Subscribe to my second channel. Everything you need to know about your boy Jay, it's in the description down below. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, y'all, we live on Twitch. You know, you see the Twitch chat over yonder. You know what I mean? But, hey, man, the Twitch chat, man, y'all starting to like movie reactions, man. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all starting to like movie reactions? Y'all wasn't liking movie reactions before? Now y'all like it now? What changed, chat? Chat, what changed? Now everybody movie fans now? You know what I'm saying? When y'all just get like this? When y'all get like this, man? You know what I'm saying? But no, though, man. We got horror movie plot twists you never seen coming. You know, and freaking Get Out, man. I know Get Out probably made every brother in America afraid to date a white woman. You know what I'm saying? Get Out was insane, you know, and did it make me not want to date white women? Nah, it did, man, but man, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Get Out was crazy, bro. You know, but it more so, like I said, for me when it comes to, it's not white girls, bro. It's more about their family, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to, you know, do something to your grandpa. You know, it's your grandpa I'm worried about. It ain't you, shawty. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, for me, I'm a man of many flavors. Vanilla, chocolate, Chinese, Asian, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cintos. You know what I mean? I'm a man of all flavors, right? I love everything. But it's just your grandpa I'm worried about because I'm a brother that's going to do something to him. You know what I'm saying? That's me right there. You feel me? So I know how I am and I know how I get. So I think it's just best for me to just, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, y'all, you know, we never know who our woman will be. You know what I'm saying? If I click with a white woman, I click with a white woman. If I click with a black woman, I click with a black woman. If I click with a Chinese woman, I click with a Chinese woman, you know? I don't think like this world. My soulmate gonna be who my soulmate is. But anyways, man, for all my new subscribers and new viewers, man, if y'all want to go watch all my movie reactions, it is in the movie reaction playlist section. It's your boy Jay, man. Take it easy.
Not the mommy. Two twin brothers live in a secluded house out in the countryside. Their mother has just come home after facial surgery. Her face is completely covered in bandages, her eyes hidden, and even her voice sounds different. She avoids contact, imposes strange and unsettling rules. Little by little, Elias and Lucas start to realize that something is deeply wrong. The woman doesn't seem like their mother anymore.
I don't think that's they
sing the song
mama.
She used to. She forgets intimate details about their routine, and she reacts with violence whenever they ask about the past. That's when fear begins to turn into paranoia. They start watching her every move, testing her memories, obsessively investigating, and the more they search for answers, the more convinced they become that the woman in their home definitely isn't their mother. So the boys decide to take drastic action. They tie
What's that movie is?
Interrogate her, desperate for the truth. They want answers, they want proof, and what the audience witnesses is a terrifying escalation of violence, where childlike innocence turns into something cruel and irreversible.
Sag uns, wo unsere Mama ist.
But then comes the devastating
plot twist that
changes everything we've seen. The woman was never an imposter. She was, in fact, their real mother. The reason she seemed so distant and different was something else entirely. The unbearable grief of having lost one of her sons in a tragic accident. Lucas, the twin we've seen interacting with Elias throughout the film, is no longer alive. He's only a projection of the surviving brother's traumatized mind. A desperate way to deny death and pretend that nothing has changed. At the end of the film, the mother dies at the hands of Elias, who truly believes he's killing an imposter.
Wow, so you actually killed your mama, bro? You crazy lunatic? You know what I mean? So the boy was delusional. This dumb freak thought that his twin brother was still alive. You know what I mean? So this dumb freak created delusion in his mind that his twin brother was still alive. So he was delusional with his twin brother being alive. And then the freak was delusional, talking about his mother was an imposter. Freakish. He's a freak.
Worst part is that in the end, he escapes from the burning house, and as he comes out of the woods, he finds his mother, meaning he believes what he did was right, but now, just like the fake brother, his mother isn't real either. The strange family. Everything seems perfectly normal when Chris Washington accepts his girlfriend Rose Armitage's invitation to visit her family's countryside estate. A quiet weekend in an isolated property. The welcome is warm, maybe a little too warm. Her father Dean cracks awkward jokes about voting for Obama. Her mother Missy is overly kind, and her brother Jeremy completely unhinged. But something about the Armitage home feels deeply off.
Hey, heck no. See, that right there would have threw me off, right? That would have been like, what the freak? Right when I start seeing black maids and black workers, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Why is there no white workers around this mother? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me. That's what I told you, I wish the worst in people. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to people, I think the worst. Like, I don't think the best. Like, I'm the type of person, like, even when I was driving in my neighborhood the other day, you know what I'm saying? I was driving up. And, you know, I seen this car, bro, coming to the middle of the road. You know what I'm saying? And then one person got out and then went to the car, you know, and I stopped. The two cars right here. You know what I'm saying? I stopped all the way back here because, like I said, y'all be on everything. So I stopped right here, you know, and I turned off my lights. You know, gun and lap and everything. Turned off my lights, you know, and them two cars just stayed in the middle of the road. You know, so for me, y'all, if any sane person, what you gonna do if you see a person coming in the street? You gonna move, right? If you see a person coming, you gonna move. Why you still in the middle of the street, 4G? Maybe they was just talking. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they was finna what's the name. But me thinking how I think, and me thinking the worst of people, maybe I was tripping. But what Jay do? Hit that U-turn. Hit it fast. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I am tripping. See, one thing about me, I trip. But if I'm a trip, I'm a trip then. I ain't finna find out if I'm tripping or not. I'ma just trip. You feel me? But I hit that U-turn so fast, man. Got the freak up out of that, man. Went the other way. You know what I'm saying? I don't wait for signs. I don't wait for warnings. Like, if I see something crazy, I'm tripping. Oh, I'm tripping. I'm adding to it. Why am I seeing all these black workers? I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'm out. Just like that. Seeing straight black workers, I ain't seeing no white workers. I'm out. I'm out. And she said, babe, you're tripping. Well, I guess I'm tripping it.
Family servants, Walter and Georgina, both black, act as if they're being controlled by a remote. Their smiles are too wide, their eyes empty,
look at this,
settling, and their words sound robotic, completely disconnected from the situation. Chris senses that there's something sinister hiding behind that perfect facade. The tension skyrockets when Missy insists on hypnotizing him to help him quit smoking. And it's there in that seemingly harmless moment that everything changes. During the hypnosis, Chris falls into a dark, terrifying place, the sunken place, where he can see and hear everything but can't move, scream, or react. A brutal and powerful visual metaphor. He's trapped inside his own body, reduced to a powerless passenger of his own existence.
This white mother effing and hypnotized my boy.
Place.
As the story unfolds during a party filled with...
I got a question, my brother. Why are you still there after she just sent you in a sucking place? See what I'm saying, y'all? That's not a real brother right here. Can somebody tell me why my brother is still here? I ain't gonna lie, this man has so many warning signs, y'all, ain't make no sense. But you think I'm finna be here after this white freak just sent me in a sucking place? This man just got sent in a sucking place. He's still here.
White guests who look at him as if he were an object up for auction. The horrifying truth is revealed. The Armitage family isn't just weird. They're at the center of a secret organization called the Order of the Coagula, which performs surgical consciousness transplants. Wealthy white people obsessed with youth, strength, and genetic advantages transfer their brains into the bodies of young black victims they've kidnapped. The victim doesn't die completely. A small fraction of their consciousness remains alive, eternally trapped in the sunken place, forced to watch as someone else controls their body. In the film's climax, Chris uncovers the most painful truth of all. His girlfriend Rose never loved him. She's the hunter, the lure who seduces black men and women with fake affection, only to deliver them to her family's body market. The plot
and that's the yard.
Isn't just a simple story reversal. It's a gut punch that redefines the entire film. In the end, Chris must fight desperately for his life, escape that house of horrors, and symbolically take back control of his own body. The final flight.
That's
the
crazy.
story begins with Sam Lott, who's on a work trip with his colleagues, when he suddenly has a terrifying premonition. The bridge they're crossing is about to collapse. Panicked, he convinces several passengers to get off the bus before the disaster. Molly, his girlfriend, along with Peter, Isaac, Candace, Olivia Castle, and a few others, manage to escape. Seconds later, the bridge collapses. Sam, Molly, and the others believe they've cheated death, but soon they discover the truth.
That's that Final Destination?
Only delayed it. One by one, strange deaths begin to occur. Candace dies during gymnastics.
Dang!
Isaac is brutally killed.
That's Final Destination.
Olivia falls to her death during a botched laser eye surgery. Bloodworth, the mysterious...
Like, what? Bro, Final Destination is crazy. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, bro. Look, Final Destination gang, I can't, bro. Bro, you talking about gruesome, bro? You talking about gruesome? Bro, this Final Destination is one of the most gruesome videos I've ever watched. Like, gruesome. When I mean gore to the core, bro. You know what I'm saying? Gore to the freaking core.
Funeral director
Final Destination, bro, gore
reappears, but this time he reveals something new. There's a temporary way to escape. If someone kills another person who is meant to die, they can take that person's remaining lifespan. The survivors realize they're dying in the exact order they would have perished during the bridge collapse. Desperate, some try to manipulate fate, steal life from others, even kill those scheduled to die before them. But every attempt to cheat death only leads to more horrific consequences. Peter loses his mind trying to kill Molly to steal her time, but Sam manages to stop him. Believing they've finally escaped the cycle, Sam and Molly board a plane to Paris, ready for a new beginning, far from the nightmare. But that's where the biggest and most devastating twist of the entire Final Destination franchise hits. The plane they board is Flight 180. Sounds familiar? It's the exact same flight that explodes in the first movie.
Oh my God.
Sam and Molly witness a fight between passengers, a nervous teenager named Alex being thrown off the plane along with several others. Just like in the 2000 original, the camera reveals familiar faces: Terry Chaney, Carter Horton, and Alex Zane, all characters from the first film. Suddenly, everything makes sense. The year isn't 2011, it's 2000. The turbine explodes, the plane disintegrates in midair, Sam and Molly die along with everyone else on board. Everything in this movie happens chronologically before the first film, connecting directly to the Flight 180 disaster that started the entire franchise. The underground house. Tess Marshall arrives in Detroit late at night, under heavy rain, exhausted and dragging her luggage. She has a confirmed Airbnb booking in a nearly abandoned neighborhood, but when she opens the door, she finds a stranger already staying there. His name is Keith Toshko. Polite and friendly, he offers her tea and
that's bro that acted in It.
But something about the situation feels deeply unsettling.
Yeah, first of all, look, first of all, bro, why are you in this, bro? Look, you know what I mean? Like, why are you in my Airbnb house? You know what I'm saying? That's first and foremost. I don't want no stranger staying with me. You know what I'm saying? So that's off the rip, bro. Why are you in my Airbnb house, bro? That right there, turn around. You know what I'm saying? You think I'm finna stay with you, bro? You think I'm finna stay with a stranger? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the freak? You freak? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the freak? Turn back around, ask for a refund, and we're out, bro. You know what I mean? Not finna stay with no freaking stranger.
The city deserted, no hotels available.
Like, I seen one of y'all freaks. You know what I'm saying? I seen one of y'all freaks, bro, text me yesterday. That's why I had to block all your freaking, you know, get a pot. I had to block this freak, you know, for my Madden franchise. $100 wager me, cuh. Look, if you're watching me, don't text my freaking phone, you freak. You know what I'm saying? I will block you. You know what I'm saying? What the freak is you texting my phone talking about wager you $100? I had to block that man immediately. You know what I'm saying? Don't text my phone, freak.
Storm raging outside, she reluctantly decides to stay the night, and that's where Barbarian starts playing cruelly with the audience's trust and expectations. Is Keith the real danger, or is something far, far worse hiding in that house? In the middle of the night, Tess wakes up to strange noises coming from somewhere untraceable, until she finds it, a hidden door in the damp basement leading to a secret passageway. What she discovers down there...
Why are you going exploring for?
Nature, a claustrophobic dirt tunnel,
Damn.
a dusty video camera, a filthy bed with rusty chains, and at the end of the darkness, another tunnel, even deeper. The further she goes, the more the movie transforms, from tense psychological thriller to full-blown body horror. Suddenly, without warning, a grotesque creature appears, female in form, but horrifyingly distorted. She's only known as Mother, the product of generations of something unspeakable. Then the story shifts completely to another perspective. Introducing A.J. Gilbride, the arrogant sitcom actor who legally owns the property. Recently disgraced by a public scandal, A.J. visits the house to assess its value and sell it fast. But instead of reacting in horror to the nightmare beneath, he pulls out a measuring tape, calculating how how much the extra square footage might increase the property's price. That's when the devastating twist reveals the buried truth. In the 1980s, the house's original owner, Frank, a disturbed man, used to kidnap women off the streets of Detroit and keep them imprisoned in the tunnels he dug beneath the house. From those women, children were born, victims of rape and captivity. And from those children, forced to live and reproduce underground, came more offspring, each generation more physically and mentally deformed than the last. The creature known as Mother isn't the real monster of the story. She's its final and most tragic victim, the broken result of an endless cycle of abuse. She acts on a twisted maternal instinct, caring for her victims by feeding and imprisoning them, repeating the only version of motherhood she ever learned in the dark below.
Get that freak away from me. I don't care what the freak happened. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what happened to you. You're a freak just like the one that kidnapped you, bro. You're a freak just like him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't feel sorry for you. Oh, you're a victim. No, you ain't no victim. You're a freak just like that, just like the person that kidnapped you, bro.
With an apparently innocent visit.
What's wrong with you, boy?
Becca, a 15-year-old aspiring filmmaker,
would slap the taste out your mouth.
And Tyler, her 13-year-old younger brother who dreams of being a rapper, take a train to rural.
Oh, he looked like he sucked. Hang on, he looked like he sucked for sure. Like I just had to say that. Like he looked like he BJ for sure, yo.
Becca, a 15-year-old
like
aspiring filmmaker obsessed with documentaries, and Tyler, a 13-year-old younger brother who dreams of being a rapper, take a train to rural Pennsylvania to spend a full week with their maternal grandparents, whom they've never met in person. Their mother, Loretta, sees the trip as a rare chance for a family reconciliation after 15 years completely estranged from her parents because of a family feud. But from the very first night in that isolated house in the middle of nowhere, something feels deeply wrong. The elderly couple are extremely kind, attentive, and affectionate all day long, making pancakes, telling stories, and playing in the backyard.
Grandparents weird?
Falls, their behavior changes in a disturbingly drastic way. Grandma Doris wanders through the dark house,
butt naked,
laughing to herself, obsessively scratching the walls,
slap the taste out of Grandma
uncontrollably. Grandpa John has sudden violent outbursts for no apparent reason and acts like he's hiding something terrible in the basement.
You know what I'm saying? See, that's what I'm saying, bro. It was just something about Grandma house and Granddad house. You know what I'm saying? It's just something about Granddad. I don't know, man. Something about them granddad. Some of them older folks be needing help, man. You know what I mean? Some of the older folks be needing, like I told y'all, I know I told y'all this story before, and I know I ain't tweaking. It's a very vivid memory, man. I remember my grandma was sleepwalking. You know what I'm saying? I think I don't know if it's a made up memory. I don't know what it is, man. But grandma was sleepwalking, man. I remember that, man. Grandma was sleepwalking, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all. Grandma was sleepwalking. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie. I thought I was gonna have to slap the taste out of grandma's mouth. You know what I'm saying? One thing about me, man, I ain't with all that weird junk. I don't care if you grandma. I don't care if you mama gang. You come around me being that weird junk, I promise you, you will get hurt. I promise you. I promise you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with all that grandma, mom. You know, please tell me you're okay. I resort to violence first and foremost. You know what I mean? I resort to violence. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You feel me? I'm telling you, I love me more than anybody on this dang earth. And I promise you, grandma, granddad, mama, dad, you start acting weird, you will get laid down.
Desperately tries to rationalize the bizarre behavior, repeatedly telling
I probably think I'm lying. I'm telling you, you will get laid the freak down, bro. I will lay you down in an instant, and I promise you, I would not feel bad about it after laying you the freak down. You know what I'm saying? Just act normal, bro. That's all you gotta do is act normal around me, bro. Don't come around me acting weird, sleepwalking, walking around the house naked, laughing to yourself. I'm telling you, gang, you're gonna get laid the freak down, bro.
Just old age, dementia, maybe Alzheimer's.
Mama, daddy, I don't care who you is.
Much more sinister.
Don't come around me playing weird, bro.
Claustrophobic psychiatric ward vibe takes over the house. Meals are tense. The basement is always mysteriously padlocked, and the grandparents
look at her.
By any questions about the past or about the kid's mother. But the
crucial
moment happens during a video call, and it changes everything from that point on.
Becca, they've been acting so strange, Mom. We've been recording them.
Those aren't your grandparents.
What?
What are you talking about, Mom?
Where are Nana and Pop-Up? You've been staying with those people the whole time?
With that, their mother immediately calls the police, but the kids are left with the difficult task of surviving.
So they with a bunch of old freaks?
Becca finally decides to investigate the padlocked basement. She breaks the lock, and the devastating truth comes to light. Down there, in the cold, damp darkness,
it's not even their grandparents.
The decomposing bodies of their real grandparents. The two people living with them in the house are not Doris and John Jameson, their maternal grandparents. They're Claire and Frederick, extremely dangerous.
Hold on, bro. You sent your children down there with like, what type of mom are you, gang? Like, what? Sit your children down there without knowing they were going, like, what, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't trying to call. Hold on, man.
Psychiatric patients who escaped from a nearby mental institution. They broke into the isolated house, murdered the real elderly couple, and assumed their identities to live out a delusional fantasy of having a family and grandkids. The discovery comes too late. The imposters realize they've been found out and completely lose it, attacking the children with the intent to kill them, to keep the secret, and keep the family together forever. The house becomes a desperate battleground for survival. Becca and Tyler fight for their lives. The boy uses his athletic skills to take Frederick down, while Becca fights Claire, smashing a mirror into her face. The police finally arrive at the house, capture the imposters, and save Becca and Tyler. The visit's plot twist is deceptively simple on the surface, but emotionally devastating. In the end, when the kids finally return home traumatized, they learn from their mother that she fought with her parents 15 years earlier because they didn't approve of her boyfriend and kicked her out while she was pregnant. She never reconciled and never sent recent photos of the children. That's why the imposters fooled them so easily. No one knew what the real grandparents actually looked like. The doppelganger. In 1986, a girl named Adelaide gets lost alone at a seaside amusement park in Santa Cruz.
I'm not gonna lie, this movie was so confusing right here, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. This movie was so confusing. You know what I'm saying? I did not, you know what I'm saying, understand this movie at all, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to watch it, bro. I was trying to understand it, man. This is one movie that I gotta go back and watch. I gotta go back and watch this movie. This is one movie I just didn't understand. And I pay attention to movies, bro. I really do. I just did not understand this freaking movie, bro. But it was just too confusing, bro. It was too confusing.
Scared and disoriented, she wanders into an abandoned attraction, a maze-like
freaking
hall of
Us.
mirrors. And there, at the end of the mirrored corridor, she finds something impossible. Another exact flesh and blood version of herself, staring back in total silence. This is the origin of Adelaide Wilson's trauma, a woman who, decades later, lives an apparently normal, comfortable life. Married to Gabe, mother to 2 kids, Zora and Jason, planning a relaxing family vacation. But something deep inside her has never felt truly at peace. She's never been able to talk naturally about that night, never returned to that beach. On vacation, when the family goes back to that same coastal town, the lazy summer calm quickly turns into a nightmare. At night, after a tense day at the beach, a family of 4 stops at the end of the driveway of their rental, completely silent, motionless, simply staring through the darkness.
That was low-key
creepy, break in
bro.
and enter the house, the existential horror is revealed in a devastating way. It's them. Physically identical versions, but deeply distorted, dressed in red coveralls, holding sharp golden scissors, and radiating pure dread. They call themselves the Tethered. Red, Adelaide's doppelganger, speaks in a raspy, broken voice, like someone unaccustomed to using her vocal cords, and tells an impossible story.
There was a girl.
They've lived hidden in tunnels beneath all of America, forced to involuntarily mirror every movement of the people above, condemned to a shadow life of emptiness. From there, the film plunges into visual and symbolic chaos, as the world outside is simultaneously overrun by millions of human copies, emerging violently from underground across the nation, forming apocalyptic human chains. Adelaide fights desperately to protect her family and understand what it all really means. In the final underground showdown, when Adelaide faces her double, the suffocating truth surfaces through fragmented flashbacks. Back in that hall of mirrors decades earlier, she violently attacked the real Adelaide from above, dragged her into the tunnels in chains, switched places with her, went up to the surface, and painstakingly learned to speak, socialize, love, to imitate humanity perfectly. Meanwhile, the true Adelaide remained imprisoned in the underworld for life, gradually losing the ability to speak normally and eventually becoming Red, the leader of the Tethered uprising. But Jason, the younger son, notices something in a disturbing look he trades with his mother. He knows but says nothing. He just pulls down his monster mask and accepts it. The game gone wrong. A luxurious mansion in the middle of nowhere packed with rich Gen Z 20-somethings and a brutal tropical storm outside.
I ain't gonna lie, I probably would have had to just, you know what I'm saying? I know it probably sound crazy, y'all, but it would have made me paranoid. You know what I'm saying? I would have had to do it to mama, sister, daddy, and everything, because I don't know if this is my real mama. You know what I'm saying? So, mama, I'm sorry. Lord, forgive me for I have sinned. And, you know what I'm saying? But mama probably got to go. Daddy probably got to go. Sister probably got to go. And brother probably got to go. You know what I'm saying? It's just paranoia. You know what I'm saying? So I most likely will probably go to hell. You know what I'm saying? I probably will go to hell. I probably will be a murderer. You know what I'm saying? But I got to do it. I don't think y'all understand how afraid I am to die. I don't think y'all understand that. Like, I will put mother effers down. You know what I'm saying? I don't think y'all understand how afraid. That's why I move how I am. I move how I move because I'm afraid to die, gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am a scary mother ever. I ain't gonna lie. You know, when it come to hands, I'm cool when it come to hands. But if you're trying to kill me, I would do anything possible to make sure you do not kill me. Anything possible. Anything possible. You know what I mean? So that's just how it is, man. Hopefully it doesn't ever get to that situation. But when I mean I am a person that is willing to take it there from my life, when I mean I'm willing to go that way and mean, I'm talking about by any means necessary to make sure I don't die, we're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go by any means necessary. I love my life, man. You know what I'm saying? I only get one life. Think about it, y'all. Oh, you only get one life? And you think I'm finna let you kill me? You know what I'm saying? That's why I say y'all life too short to be a crash out. That's why I think about everything I do. You know what I'm saying? Death. I only get one life and you think I ain't trying to live this to the fullest? Oh man, I'm gonna kill you to the fullest.
Blocking out all communication and cutting them off from the world. It all seems simple and harmless
until
they decide to play a
I'm gonna do it to you to the fullest.
Bodies,
to the fullest.
Where one person is secretly designated the killer and has to kill others by tapping them in the dark without being caught. At first, it's just carefree fun among bored, slightly buzzed friends. But when the power suddenly goes out during the storm and David, the mansion's owner, actually turns up dead in the yard, the game instantly stops being an innocent joke. Irrational fear takes over, and what used to be a chill party becomes a claustrophobic nightmare. Hysterical accusations and toxic secrets spilling out. Each character hides behind a carefully curated social mask. Image-obsessed influencers, privileged but insecure heirs, pathological addicts to external validation and social media likes. One by one, they turn on each other like trapped animals. Supposedly solid friendships crumble within minutes. Old betrayals rise to the surface. No one can trust anyone, and absolutely nobody seems to be who they claim to be. Sophie and B, the central couple, start tearing into each other. Alice and her older boyfriend Greg are quickly turned into scapegoats. Jordan Parrott's true crime podcast as expert knowledge. The film drags the audience down a frantic, spiraling descent into growing despair. The tension spikes by the minute. More bodies drop. Greg is killed with a dumbbell. Alice dies from a fall.
The freak is this movie?
Just wants to know, who the hell is the psychopath? Then at dawn, after total carnage, the twist lands, absurdly cruel and brilliant. After all the bloodshed that wiped out the group, the brutal truth is finally revealed through a video on David's phone. There was no killer. The first death, the one that set off the entire nightmare, was a completely stupid accident. David was drunk, filming a TikTok trying to impress his buddies, and he accidentally slit his own throat. Every death that followed, every accusation, every violent turn was nothing but the group's collective paranoia and sheer stupidity. The crazy boyfriend. Woodsboro seems like a quiet small town in California until the phone rings that fateful night. A distorted, menacing voice on the other end, seemingly innocent questions about classic horror films, and a threat that quickly becomes reality. A masked killer in a cheap Halloween costume with a hunting knife, known only as Ghostface, starts methodically hunting down teenagers one by one.
Look, man, I ain't laughing, but what the freak, bro? Like, drunk is freak. You know what I'm saying? Drunk is freak, bro. You know what I'm saying? And this man right here waving down the freak and cut this man is stupid as freak.
Following the rules of the
that
very
gotta be
movies
the
they
most
watch,
dumbest
Casey
thing.
Becker, a popular student, is brutally murdered and hung from a tree in her own yard. A macabre warning to the entire town. Among the potential victims and terrified survivors is Sydney Prescott, a high school student still desperately struggling with the trauma of her mother's death. Maureen Prescott, murdered exactly 1 year earlier. As the bodies of classmates, teachers, and acquaintances pile up in terrifying
I ain't messing with Scream.
tension and paranoia explode, and no one seems above suspicion.
Messing with Scream,
in a devastating climax inside one of their homes, Sydney finally uncovers the brutal truth.
Please.
Surprise, Sydney. What's the matter, Sydney? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Billy Loomis, her boyfriend, and Stu Macker are the killers, working as a duo. Two seemingly ordinary
freaks. Look at them freaks.
Completely obsessed with 80s slasher flicks, who chose to turn the horror genre into a literal functional manual for murdering real people. Billy reveals with rage and resentment that his true motivation is sick vengeance. Maureen, Sydney's mother, had an affair with his father, destroying his family and driving his own mother away. Stu just thinks it's all fun, thrilling, like a live-action movie. Their meticulously crafted plan plan seemed perfect on paper. Kill Sydney and her father while staging their deaths, frame Sydney's dad for the killings with planted evidence, and become the only traumatized survivors of the Woodsboro massacre, earning eternal fame. But they fatally underestimated who they were up against. Sydney Prescott isn't a traditional final girl who only screams and runs. She flips the script completely. She uses her knowledge of horror cliches and rules against the killers, shooting Billy in the head after he comes back to life like every slasher villain, and dropping the TV on Stu's head, electrocuting him. She takes them out without hesitation, ending the massacre, at least for the moment. Because after the success of Scream, several sequels followed. And if you want to see every Ghostface reveal in the franchise, click and watch the video.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, Scream is a human, though. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I know I could do Scream. The Scream is a human. You know what I'm saying? Now, it and all them folks right there, you know what I'm saying? We ain't doing all that. You know what I'm saying? But Scream, it's human. So I could pop Scream. You know what I'm saying? Scream could get popped. You feel me? But, you know, it's just, man, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying?